Okay. Let's do this. Let's see. Let's see who decides to come in. Vortex, what's going on, bud? Yep, I'm gonna have that conversation. It's been asked a lot in the live stream. It's like, I like it. We'll do it. We'll do that one. I think you might be the only one. I don't know. We might have some more people to jump in. That's fine. So, what are we going to talk about today? I'm going to jump right into this because this is a hot topic right now. There's lots of people talking about it. I heard it on the news. I mean, obviously everyone's aware of what's going on. I mean, like Israel went after the F-14s. Like, it's that serious. It's that serious. I mean, they're from what I am aware of, open source, the F-14s weren't even flying. What's going on, Stephanie? Stephanie, I saw your comments on the video about concealed carry and carrying one in the chamber. I'm not sure like what state you're in or what your state laws are, but I am not aware of any states that can restrict your ability to have a loaded firearm. So you check your state laws, but I'm not aware. Like, if you have a license to conceal carry, that's the whole point, is to be able to carry a loaded firearm. Overdrive, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. We're doing an early. We're starting early. I've gotten quite a bit of work done already, so I'm going all in. It's been on the radio a whole bunch. It's been all over social media. There's a bunch of people that are just out there. Logan, just out there, just kind of pooping on everything that's going on, everything that Israel's doing, and I'm kind of getting tired of it. And so I'm gonna throw my hat into the ring. These are my comments. What do you normally have your trip? What? I don't know that that's a thing. George, I sometimes hunt, but not very often. Most of this is just my collection for personal enjoyment and recreation and personal protection. No, I agree. I'm open to lots of opinions. I'm just going to share my personal opinion. I want to make sure I'm very clear. This is not a reflection of. This is not a political opinion. This isn't a military opinion or opinion of the branch of service that I'm in. This is just my opinion as the below average Utah dad. So, George, I sometimes hunt birds. I do a little bit of bird hunting. I go deer hunting every once in a while up in Idaho. I live in Utah, but I usually don't get anything. So, for those of you joining us, if you'd do me a favor, if you'd hit the like button, double tap your screen, maybe give a subscribe. It's probably going to be... I like having fun with the chat, but I really want to get the chat's input on this. I want to hear where you guys stand. Can we get a duck POV of a bullet? It's very hard to draw in Utah. I do not like. Stephanie, you're here in Utah, right? If you commented on my thing, you can absolutely carry here in Utah. with a round in the chamber. I do every day. That's awesome, George. I live in Utah. You have to like put in for a lottery kind of thing to get a ticket to go hunt like anything other than birds. So I mostly hunt birds. Oh yeah, I'm in Davis. I'm not in Weber County. I'm in Davis County, but I'm close to the Air Force Base. So I'm near Layton. I'm in and around Layton. Stephanie. Yes, those are real guns. Black music. So, anyways, let's talk about what's in the thing. I don't know why I wrote sun, but that's okay. Glacier Shark, what's going on, bud? How's Yakutat today? Yeah, so Israel is obviously they're going full bore against Iran, and there's a lot of prominent people that I actually really enjoy. Hey Yoel, thank you. I like Candace Owens. I like the Hodge twins. I like Tucker Carlson. I like Sean Hannity. I like these more conservative voices. But oh, awesome! I like Sitka. I like fishing in Sitka. Yoel, welcome from Israel. I'm glad you're here. So like. The thing that people don't understand, and especially if you're not intimately familiar with the military, with defense, and I say that as someone who grew up like the son of a pilot. I say that as someone who has been exposed to a lot of different things. So they already had nuclear power, Logan. Iran has had nuclear power plants and uranium enrichment for a while. They have nuclear power. They've had the ability to do nuclear power. There's a far cry. Like if you do a Google search on what kind of uranium is needed to create nuclear fission for power. No. It's part of that, Logan. You're definitely on the right track. The amount of uranium and the type of uranium that you can use to create energy and electricity. Cheap, cost-effective electricity. Safe, cheap, cost-effective electricity. It's a very specific type of uranium, and it's not hard to make. It's when uranium is being enriched, and it's far beyond a commercial application. There's only one reason to do that. There's only one reason to enrich uranium beyond commercial applications. Ozzy, those are real guns, bud. Stephanie, yeah, Israel's been bombing the living crap out of Iran for like the last almost week. So that's exactly what they were doing, is they were trying to, because making a nuclear bomb, it's difficult, but it's not that difficult now. It's been almost 100 years since the first nuclear bombs were being tested. Okay? So all you need, even if you don't build a nuclear bomb in the sense that you're building a fissionable nuclear bomb, like what we think of, like an atomic bomb. Okay? If you have enough enriched uranium, and you have a large enough, like even just regular, I'm already in the military, Dr. Good, so that wouldn't really apply to me. But yes. So let's say you take a hypersonic missile. Okay, Iran says they have hypersonic missiles. Let's say you take a hypersonic missile that can go Mach 10, and you can't stop it with Iron Dome or Sea Whiz or other types of tools. If you throw, okay, and it's already a highly explosive tool. Let's say it's a 15,000 pound missile. Let's say you've got 15,000 pounds of high explosive in it. That's already going to make a massive explosion, okay? If you throw nuclear material into that, okay, it is freedom air. But if you throw nuclear material into that, even 30 pounds of nuclear material in with that 15,000 pounds, it's going to atomize that nuclear material, and it's going to create a dirty bomb. So now you've effectively irradiated, okay, an entire area. You've created a radioactive weapon that's not even a fissionable weapon. So, like, that's part of the issue. They're doing more than just, Iran is doing more than just making nuclear energy. So, Israel, after President Trump, continuously, he gave them 60 days and said, you guys should really come to the table and we need to come to some kind of agreement. You need to allow people to come in. We need to do inspections. We're all for you having nuclear energy. Are you talking about like them saying they shot down F-35s? They didn't. 100% they didn't. I've fondled F-35s with my hands. They 100% did not shoot down F-35s. What's going on, Cannon? So anyways, there's a lot of people right now that are very angry that Trump isn't doing more, I guess, to stop Iran. Or stop Israel. Israel has a right to exist. And of all the nations in the Middle East, okay, of all the nations in the Middle East, Israel is the only non-Muslim nation. Okay? There's nothing wrong with Muslims. I know lots of Muslim people. I associate with a lot of Muslim people. I like Muslims. The problem is that most of those Muslim nations, a fair number of Muslim nations, hate America. And they hate democracy. They're when you think of the handwife's tale, when you think of women wearing burqas and being forced to cover their bodies, all right? When you think of that, okay, you have Palestine. Palestine hates America. You have Yemen and the Houthi. They hate America. Syria hates America. Iran hates America. Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan hates America. And they're running the show in Afghanistan now. Al-Qaeda and the Taliban are they're the government in Afghanistan now. All right. Syria, like all of those things. Hey, what's going on, Jacob? All right. Brad, if you want to chime in and you would like to use the chat, you get 180 characters. Okay? And really the hatred and everything, Iran has been a threat. Iran is the largest sponsor of state terrorism in the world, Ozzy. Like they're the ones that give the Houthi and Hezbollah and Hamas and ISIS and the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, like Iran gives them weapons. I just named 6 terrorist organizations that basically run entire countries. All right? Like that's what Iran does. What we're doing with Ukraine, what NATO is doing with Ukraine, where we're providing intelligence, money, weapons, we're not providing necessarily manpower. What Ukraine is doing in their country against Russia is what Iran has done with Muslim terrorist organizations across the world. All right? If they aren't messianic. So yeah, that's not true, Brad. Go read the Torah, Brad. So like I've studied religion. I've read the Quran in English. I haven't read it in Muslim. Or in Arabic. I don't speak Arabic. I don't speak Yiddish, so I haven't read the Torah in Yiddish, which is the language that Jews believe. So Iran, so think about it, the GDP of Iran. Iran is a large country. All right. Yeah, I think Brad's just a Jew hater. That's, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Google what the Talmud says. So Brad, what you're saying is you're doing the same thing that a lot of Westerners do, like with Muslims. you're saying that the Talmud is what all Jews believe. Now, that might be a specific sect of Judaism. It might be a specific text that was written that someone taught. All right? It might be a specific group of rabbis. You said all rabbis. Okay, so then that must mean that all imams believe that America is the great Satan and that Jesus also is an imposter. All right? That all descendants of Abraham that are not from the branch of Ishmael are wicked and deserve to die, and that if you believe anything other than Sharia law and you are not working towards a caliphate, that you are an infidel. What you're taking one small facet of a group of rabbis potentially, and saying that's what it teaches. Okay, I know that that's not what the Quran teaches. There's some things that can be interpreted that way, but that's not what the Quran teaches. It's also not what the Talmud and the Torah teach, because I've read the Talmud and the Torah. So they believe that Jesus was a prophet. They just don't believe that he was the Son of God. Anyways, but you can continue to live in your falsehood and hate Jews. Anyways, well, we're going to keep talking about Iran, regardless. You can hate Jews, Brad. I'm not saying it's against the law to hate Jews. I don't hate Jews. I think most people don't, because, we're not dumbasses. Thank you, Saul. Exactly. I like Muslims. I like Jews. I even have met agnostic, and I've met people that worship Satan. That I think they're a little weird, but they're still decent people. You can be a religious person and be a very decent person. In fact, I would say that most religious people have strong convictions, and that helps them to be good people. But that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about religion, except in the vague sense that the reason that wars in the Middle East are taking place is because fundamentally it comes down to the conflict between the tribes of Abraham that come from the branch of Ishmael and that come from the branch of Isaac. And that's really what it is, fundamentally. So,
whoa.
Wake up first. Wake up first. All right, go eat some food.
Thank you for letting me. Whoa, I need to.
Yeah. Anyways, Well,
that was weird. Everything went black for a moment.
Yeah, that is weird. Don't do that.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you for letting me sleep in.
You're welcome. I'm talking about Iran and Israel. So you need to go. Mom would like you to work on your packet today and work on pageant stuff.
My IT bin feels so bad today. That's what I get though, because I was running with Sienna yesterday.
I saw her walking yesterday.
You did?
Towards practice, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was running with her yesterday, and she was running at like a 9:40 pace. So it was cool that I was able to keep up with her for that long. I could definitely feel it.
You need to be stretching and walking on off days. You're only working out on practice days. You need to be stretching and walking at a minimum. Yeah, so it's like Israel being in that epicenter, Israel being a very strong ally of the United States, like that's a good thing. Having an ally to the U.S. from a U.S. perspective. If you're from another country, I'm not speaking about your perspective. I'm speaking about my perspective. Yeah, exactly, Chief. So, right now, Israel is attacking Iran. Iran has funded state terrorism in many other countries. So, Iran has funded state terrorism. Iran has repeatedly called for the annihilation of Israel, for the annihilation of America, for annihilation of many Christian nations. So this is like the kid in the school who thinks everybody's a jerk, and if they don't do what he says, like this is the kid that you know, like, man, if that kid had a stick, that would be bad. Charles, like, what do you have against gay people? Who cares if they're gay? Who cares? Again, we're talking about a nation that if you decide, I want to sleep with dudes as a dude, or I want to sleep with women as a woman, in the nation of Iran, if you proclaim that openly, they kill you. That's the response. They kill you. Okay? I'm not talking about a transgender. I'm not talking about a dude who thinks he's a woman. I'm not talking about a woman who thinks that he's a man, or who thinks that she's a man. I'm talking about someone who says, I'm attracted to women as a woman. And, okay, well, now we're going to throw you. Exactly, Chief. So, it's the fact that they would probably try to use them against Israel. They've said as much many times. But more importantly, it's providing it. Nobody's scared of the nation that has 1,000 nuclear weapons. Okay? Nobody is afraid of the nation that has 1,000 nuclear weapons. What people are afraid of is one nuclear weapon. Okay? One nuclear weapon. Okay? Name the town from any country that you're in. Name the town that you're okay with in your nation getting nuked. Hey, Jake the Patriot, thank you for donating, bud. That will go towards the Marlin 4570 and the Colt Python that I have to buy. I let my chat. We did a $500 goal, and the chat picked a Marlin model 4570 lever action and a Colt Python in 357. So that's my cowboy kit that I have to buy in the near future. So, Belle, are you from Russia? No, but in all seriousness, all the people and everything, like what city, regardless of whether you agree with the politics, regardless of whether you like the majority of what happens there, what city of people, yeah, not today, Karen, what city of people in your own country are you okay with being completely eradicated off the planet? Like, gone. Like, in the matter of, I'm saying what country, and then finishing my sentence, that state, or that city is gone. You're completely okay with it and all the loss of life. As an American, I'm not okay with that in any state, in any city. Thank you, Aiden. I appreciate it. all the people that hate Democrat California. Like, I can't stand it, but I still, like, again, I mentioned, like, I'm not saying my opinion as a member of the military, but as someone who is in the military, I took an oath to protect the Constitution and all of the people of America. Like, the right to be a jackass, whether I agree with you politically or not, okay? Like, that is in the Constitution. I fundamentally believe, like, people that are diametrically opposed to me, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Don't tell me I have to think your way, but I love the fact that you disagree with me. That's part of what's great about our nation. But saying that I would be okay, hey, what's going on, Anarchy? Saying that I would be okay with, like, an entire city being gone? So, Ozzy, that's the whole point. Like, that's what's frightening, is a small tactical nuclear weapon. Like, let's say it doesn't destroy a whole city. Let's just say, okay, so which 14 square blocks of a city are you okay with everyone? Men, women, children, police officers, doctors, infrastructure, businesses, all of it gone. Okay? Iran doesn't have a problem doing that. I get you outside. Iran doesn't have a problem with that. They're more than happy to provide that. So, but see, I don't even want that in the Middle East. I want people, this is what I want, below average Utah down. I want people to be able to decide 14 square blocks, Chief. 14 square blocks. All right? So, so my whole point is, like, war is hell. War is absolute hell. Nobody wants war. No one with more than 4 brain cells actually wants to go to war. Thank you, Rick Quad. Sorry, hey, everybody that's in the chat, if I'm not responding to you, it's because I kind of got this thought and I'm just going with it. I recognize it. My mods are here. They'll try and help out and say hi and things like that. But yeah, if like I'm talking about Iran and everything. If I appreciate everybody. So Iran's been working towards nuclear weapons. Yeah, I'm all for Iran having nuclear power. I would love if the whole world would go nuclear power, and like if we were to go nuclear power and then supplement with solar, that would be great. Both very clean. There's very safe ways to it. Outside of, I've said 3 times what I'm talking about. You're not listening. So the whole point is that nobody wants to go to war. Israel is already fighting people that are in their own country. They're already dealing with Hamas. They've been attacked. They're trying to take care of Hamas, trying to get rid of Hamas so that the people that are not associated with Hamas, I'm trying to give Palestinians the benefit of the doubt against my better judgment because they voted Hamas into power. So I am all for Israel also not getting caught in a 2-front war where they have Iran on the other side. Okay? Hydroelectric energy is more clean, Will and Megan, in the sense that there's no potential waste, but hydroelectric energy is terrible for the environment. You have to fundamentally change the landscape. Okay, bye outside. Chief Hell Hunter, exactly. Nuclear power is the cleanest, most efficient, longest lasting, safest energy on the planet. Thank you, Rick Quad. I love it too. So this is the point. Israel has every right to go in and attack Iran. I fully support Israel doing it. 100%. Yeah, and that's just it. Most people that go to war, we don't hate our enemies. I kind of have a strong distaste for terrorism and terrorists. Exactly, and we know, Maysam, we know that Iran is beyond that. Like, it's open source. Their own scientists and stuff have published papers saying that they're beyond that. And they're way beyond 3%. So now we've got a situation where we have a nation that says they want to destroy Israel, they want to destroy America, they want to destroy all Western civilization. And they're getting closer and closer to being able to potentially build a nuclear weapon. And no, they don't have a super strong air force, but they have lots of drones, they have lots of missiles, they have they have decently strong air defense, and they've threatened and threatened and threatened and threatened and threatened. So how are we supposed to take that? If you had a neighbor, okay, any one of you, if you had a neighbor that you knew had guns, that walked outside with their guns, showed them off, all right? Like, I have guns, I keep them in my house. Some of my neighbors know that I have guns, my friends, all right? But if you had a neighbor that had guns and showed them off and said, one day I'm going to kill you. One day I'm going to kill you. One day I'm going to attack your house and I'm going to kill you. One day when I get the right kind of gun, I'm going to kill you. And said that all the time. And then one day they walked out in their yard and said, guess what I bought today? Remember that gun that I said I needed before I came and attacked your house? Okay? Do you risk taking that as an empty threat? Do you risk ignoring them? So yes, I fully support Israel going in conventionally and strategically wiping out everything that's going on. But can you risk taking it as a bluff? Can you risk taking it as a bluff? Do you risk taking it as a bluff? So I would love to be on your side. I would love to be on your side. But I've been deployed to the Middle East, and I have intercepted messages, okay, of one form or another that originate from Iran that have said, we're going to attack the base that you're at. So you can say it's Israeli propaganda, but I have personally intercepted messages where I have been at a base and sources from Iran have said they want to destroy your base and kill everyone there. So fuck off. All right? It's not propaganda. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've been deployed. So, Fossey, that's one of the bases where I've intercepted messages where Iran has said, we're going to attack your base. Okay. And you tell me that I have propaganda. So, so all these people in the U.S. and all these things, yeah, why wouldn't you believe them? Okay? We get told on a regular basis that they want to destroy us. We get told that America is terrible. Saul, those are Mossad agents acting as Arabs. Saul, dude, come on, man. Come on. What's up, that guy? Saul, seriously. You're telling, like, how often in the history of the world have people actually gone out of their way, all right, to let's pretend to be this person and threaten these people so that they're not going to attack, but this country's, but the country that is pretending to be the other country is still going to attack. We just don't want anybody to get mad at us when we do. Go for it, AXA. Nah, you don't have to delete his message, J-Dog. He can report. I'm not touching him. He can't do anything. I thought Operation Grim Beeper was amazing, by the way. Charles, we're fighting our enemies too. Okay? When a group of people say, death to America, death to the great Satan, Western civilization is bad and needs to be eradicated. When a nation says that, okay, how are we supposed to interpret that as, oh, they're just being silly. They're just being silly. Seriously. So. Oh, I was saying that there's been a lot of stuff in social media and in the radio today about people that were conservative or are conservative, like getting mad at Trump because he's not telling Israel to back down on attacking Iran. And it kind of pisses me off because it's like, guys, Iran aren't the good guys. Iran aren't the good guys. Charles, if you mean that there are that there are groups within the U.S. or there are companies and businesses and organizations that have ties to multiple places, that's fine. But, all right? But we aren't giving, in the sense that, yeah, for a while there we were funding Iran because we were giving them aid and we were giving them all kinds of things. But we said, don't use this for weapons or to fund terrorism. And they said, oh, okay. So they used our money to fund regular things, and they used their own money to fund terrorism. Like, yes, steward of Jesus. I agree with you. Behave intolerant. Okay. I appreciate that you think I'm a big tough guy. I think behave intolerant is attracted to me. I think that's what he's saying, Chief. I love Jesus too. Sorry, Ammo. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. I'm kind of on a rant. I'm only reading like half the chat because I'm ranting. The stash does get them every time. Candace Chamberlain, how's it going? Dude, I know what you're talking about, Charles. I know what you're talking about with the USS Liberty. Okay, I know it was bombed while it was in port. I know. Fufanga Banga, yeah. Pa 3008, yes. California Teen, I think I remember you. So that's really what I wanted to talk about was like people like in the U.S. like need to wake up, stop defending Iran. Oh my gosh. Donut Daddy, what's up? Thank you, Havenhu. Yeah, and that's what I mean. I do California Team. Right here on the end is a 22. It's a Marlin Model 60. Yeah, Cole. Sorry, I'm talking about the USS Cole. USS Liberty. Okay, Charles, let's look at the USS Liberty. USS Liberty. USS Liberty is from 1967. Okay. Charles, you're insane. Charles is referencing the 1967 attack to the USS Liberty that took place during the 6 days war, and Israel said, yes, you are. Israel said that they thought it was it was the war with Egypt, and they said that they thought it was an Egyptian boat. Whether or not they did, they apologized. It was 67 years ago. They have shown tremendous support to us, even if it was on purpose. Do I fully trust Israel? No, I don't. But I trust Israel more than I trust every other nation in the Middle East. Okay? Charles? I trust every other nation less than I trust Israel. Okay? Truth be told, as I'm not brainwashed. Like, truth be told, like, Americans should just assume that even though we have allies, everybody go check out California Teen's music. Go check him out. Hey, did you write a theme song for the channel here? Did you do like a riff? Do like a riff track or whatever that's called. Go write that for me and post it, and then I'll use it. I'll use that in my long form videos. I'll use that as my intro. If you write it, I'll use it, and I'll say provided by California Teen. You write something, whatever you want to write. Go watch some of my videos, and you decide how to do it. So, yeah, I appreciate it, California Teen. That'll be cool. My whole point is that just call it something below average Utah Dad, Bod, call it Baba Yaga. Whatever you want to call it. If it's on Spotify, I'll go look it up on Spotify. And I'll be like, look, this kid wrote a song for me. and it'll be awesome. Yeah, that guy's bringing up a great example. So that's what I mean is there are nations all over the world that we're allies with. Israel, the UK, France, Germany. Some of them we were enemies with less than 100 years ago. Like Italy, Germany, Japan, less than 100 years ago we were at war with them. And now they're our allies. Japan is one of our greatest allies now. When we were at war with Japan, China was our ally. And now China is arguably the greatest threat to Western civilization. Okay. Chief, will you toss Charles? I'm done. I'm done with him. Yeah, we lost World War II. What a fucking idiot. Rafa, yeah, I stand with Israel. 100% I stand with Israel. Okay? 100% I stand with Israel. Alright? You don't have to like it. I'm not saying that they are doing the absolute best job that they could be. I'm not saying they couldn't be a little more careful, but I stand with Israel. Yeah, no one lost World War II. So, I mean, I would venture to say that the Nazis and the Japanese definitely lost World War II. I think it's horrific. I think it's horrific, haven't you? I'm glad you enjoy it, 2 Cents TV. I'm glad that you enjoy it. So it's just one of those things that it's extremely frustrating when you get the same thing kind of with what's going on with Palestine and Hamas. Like, I don't know, but Israel's doing an amazing job. So no, I don't think the U.S. needs to put boots on. That's just it. That's just it, Jeremy. Like, people think that we're going to be putting boots on the ground in Israel or in Iran. That's not going to happen. All right? Not that I'm aware of. I don't believe that we're sending any troops anywhere. I haven't heard anything like that. Sorry, my wife texted me. She asked me a question about IT. Later, ammo. I get it. Dude, I get it. No, Dion, I don't want to sell my shotgun. Yes, you can use a McChicken for home defense, although you might have to have a large stockpile because they might want it. So it's just frustrating because there are literally people that are like, well, I don't understand why Iran shouldn't have nuclear weapons. And there are some things that people like, and it's always going to be people, it's always going to be some kind of journalist, someone who has a very loud voice that doesn't have any type of insight as to how the world is actually going. Because there's the world on the surface, guys. There's the world on the surface. And then there's the information that's available. You have to look. Yes, Luke, go ahead and ask. I'm sorry. Can I grab the camera for Lamar Jackson? Sure. There's that. Well, I am in the military, Abu. All right. So, being in the military does give me some insight that other people don't have, in the sense that where people who aren't in the military, they'll see things they'll see things on X, or they'll read about something on Reddit, or they'll hear something in the news. And maybe it's true, maybe it's not. We have to take it as opinion. We have to take it for what it's worth until we have confirmed sources. Being in the military, there's information that we know about that, like for instance, what happens at Area 51? Who knows what happens? I don't know what happens at Area 51. All right? I'm using this as a very specific example. Probably every nation on the planet has their version of Area 51. All right? The reason I'm using that as an example is because everyone has a vague idea of what happens at Area 51, but what actually happens at Area 51, only a select group of people know. All right? Do you think other nations want to know what's happening? California team, it's below average Utah dad at gmail.com. Thanks, Chief. So, every other nation has some version of like an Area 51. Do you think we want to know what everybody else has? Do you think we don't want to know what our allies have? We 100% want to know what our allies have. We want to know what our enemies can do. And so, cool. I'm really stupid then. It's stupid until you need one. That's a better way of saying it. It's stupid to own a gun until you need one. So the whole point of like, when I say that like I have insight, like there's things that I understand. That sucks. That sounds very much like a problem for the UK. I agree. You shouldn't go to jail if you have a gun. RDR. It doesn't mean that owning one is stupid. It means the laws in the UK are stupid. Let's go. Yes, this is it's a Winchester 120. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2. So I would disagree, Nick. I would say that having knowledge of what people can do helps you better prepare and know what best way to measure a response. You spelled it wrong. You spelled it wrong, bruh. And no, I'm not going to say it. So that's why having that knowledge is important. That's why intelligence is important. And that's why I say, like, there are reasons when we get involved in things. There are reasons we do things. So I feel you, Nick. I feel you, Nick. I don't sell guns, Lennon Cosi. Thank you, California team. I got an email. Yep, I got it. Thank you. So, later, bruh. Like, we make decisions and we support things and we don't support things based off of the intel that we have. Yeah, Area 51 is where they're developing GTA 6 and the PS6. So that's why when I say there's probably a reason that Israel is choosing to attack Iran the way that they are. There's a reason that Israel is attacking Hamas the way that they are. There's a reason that we still, even though we talked about not supporting Ukraine, there's a reason that we still offer some support to Ukraine to a degree. There's still stuff that we're doing for Ukraine. Not as much as we were. Army 3275, 100%. So that's why we play the game that we play. Like, President Trump tells us what he thinks is best for us. And that's his opinion, that's his goal. But the actions he takes, and I would assume the actions of any president, all right, that he takes are based upon the reality and intelligence that he receives as to what's actually going on in the world. Because believe me, when I say that, like, the world is scarier than most of you know. California Teen, I definitely got it. I've got it here. I got an email. I saw that I got it from you. Yeah. Donald Duck. Like, if you ever see Donald Duck in a cartoon and he looks upset or stressed or worried or like on the hinge, there's probably a reason for it. The dude was in, like, I think someone determined that Donald Duck was probably experienced the end of World War I and was in World War II. The dude has seen some shit. Exactly, Logan. So, like, here's my take on Paul. That's a great question. Ukraine and Russia. I would love for the war between Ukraine and Russia to end. But I am not blind to the fact that right now Russia is under no obligation except out of the kindness of their hearts. The same kindness that is driving them to continue fighting the war with Ukraine. So, they want to take over that land. They want Crimea. They're not going to give anything back. All right? Oh, Gavin? My favorite shotgun is probably a Spaz 12. I think the Spaz 12 is really cool. I don't own one, but it's probably my favorite shotgun. However, I am getting... No, Patrick, you're right. Patrick, you were right. They are breaking international law. But who's going to make them not... Who's going to make them stop? Gavin, I'm getting a Mossberg custom 930. It's kind of a cross between a 930 and a 940. It's got some 940 secret sauce in there. So, but that's my whole point, is that Ukraine has every right to exist, and they have every right to have whatever type of government the people decide and that they vote on. But, like them saying, well, we want Russia to give back all of our land and to pay reparations, and Putin has to go to The Hague to face war crimes. Who's going to make Russia do that? Nobody. So why would Russia concede to all that? I don't know. I definitely don't have all the answers, but I'm a pretty practical person, Chris. So that's what... probably an AR also, Chris. Probably an AR. So that's what I mean. I don't want Ukraine and Russia to fight anymore. But if Ukraine potentially wants their land back, they have to start pushing Ukraine back, or they have to start pushing Russia back. Or they need to come to some kind of armistice, stop the fighting, and the best case scenario I think that we could have with Ukraine is what we have with North Korea and South Korea, where they build a wall between Belarus and Russia. Russia gets to keep everything they've taken, and yeah. I think China and Taiwan is going to be dirty, Jeremy. I think it's going to be bad. When it happens, I think it's going to be bad. It's not going to be, how do we protect Taiwan? It's going to be, how do we get Taiwan back? That's what I think is going to happen. California Teen, revolver that shoots 44 or Desert Eagle. Probably just a 9mm California Teen. Maybe 22 Magnum. But Logan, so a lever action is on the list for the channel. I've only been to the Atlanta airport. That's my personal belief, Jeremy. That's what, if you look out on the internet, if you look at like what the open source data says, that's what I mean, Patrick. I think Russia will continue to fight until they get exactly what they want, unless Western nations actually get involved, but get involved in a non-military capacity, like where American citizens and UK citizens are on the ground and trying to rebuild infrastructure, and like investing and putting businesses there, because then Russia has to risk, do I actually attack NATO? So, yeah, 10 millimeter has 10 millimeter has more recoil, and has a little bit more penetration, but it's a different round. Like it's more of a snub nose round. It's not a rounded round or a ball type round. They make ball ammo for it, but it's still snub nose. I don't think he wants to play with Poland. Like, he might want Poland. So according to China, they're the second largest economy. And they might be. I would have to Google it as to what it actually is. I don't know that anybody knows what economies are actually good, because the U.S. economy is, we have no idea how accurate it is at this point with what they say. We don't have a gold standard. We don't really have a way of measuring what our wealth actually is, and we have a huge amount of debt. China, we have no idea if what they say, because like the economy, the global economy that they put out is what they put out. And so, wax slug, California teen, wax slug. Yeah, China has more boats. We can't say the largest navy. They have a lot of boats. There's a big difference between displacement and numbers. Technically, they have the largest army, because technically everyone who is in. Nick, thank you. All right, I'm going to answer Nick's question, everybody. Oh, Nick donated, so I got to... Thank you, Nick. CCW pistols in your mind for 2025. And what branch were you, and where were you stationed? So I am an Air Force reservist, Nick Brown. I've been kind of all over. And 2025 pistols in my mind. So subcompact, do like a Glock. I'm a Glock guy or a Glock clone guy. So I have PSA daggers, but they're essentially Glocks. The 43X are like the PSA dagger micro. A Glock 19, okay, or a clone of some kind, whether it's Shadow Systems, I don't care what it is. I think that you should have, for CCW, I would definitely look at getting like a good 380. A good 380 of some kind, whether you want to go Glock or another brand. I think that's fine. Hey, what's up?
So Riley asked me with help with her packet, and I think the wording's a little bit weird, but from what I know, I'm pretty sure it's just asking to ask, is it like concurrent to the other triangle?
With the triangles below, mark the... Did you guys ask, like, scan it with AI to see what it says to do?
No, that's cheating.
Like, you didn't do that during the regular school year. You're not taking a test. Just do it and see if you confirm it. And it's talking about it here. So...
Well, I'm more so... Because I know that I was supposed to mark the triangles. I'm just confused on what to do with the empty space. Like,
yeah.
On the question above.
I think they want you to do what they've done here.
Just write that down?
I don't think they want you to write it just like this, but I think they want you to write something like that. I would scan it with AI and see what it says with ChatGPT or whatever, just to see what ChatGPT says.
Okay.
That's why doing math in school is easier than doing packets. So there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of things, but sorry. So an ultra compact, like a 43X, a compact like a Glock 19. For another one for CCW, a good 380. I would maybe consider like a 22 Magnum, but then maybe, I don't know, depending on if you carry off body, maybe like a larger size platform. So you can conceal carry any weapon. It's just how comfortable are you going to be. Hey Kevin, what's going on? Hellcats are good. No. She had some struggles in math this year, and so she's having to redo. She got like a D in her math class, and she wants to redo the math. So, would I have a sniper rifle? So, if you're in a zombie apocalypse, like, I would rather just have a reliable gun with, because if you have unlimited ammo, you could just go all at it, and it doesn't matter. Like a Colt Python with, say, a 6-inch barrel on 357. Like, it's a silly question, but yeah, you could make that work and never have to worry about things. If you could just keep shooting it, yeah. It's a Marlin Model 60, Kevin. God, I have videos of me doing push-ups every day. I do 22 every day to raise awareness for veteran suicide. It's literally it's literally the one consistent thing. I post that short every day. Every day. What's the funniest gun to shoot in your opinion? I haven't shot it, but the gun that I would say is probably the goofiest to ever shoot is that 45-70 Derringer. Do I have a favorite 2025 gun in mind? That's a good question. I don't know that there's a gun coming out that I'm like, oh, I really want. So somebody said that they're looking at rebuilding the ACR. That Remington or Bushmaster might be building, like doing a new run on the ACR. Not like the Jackal, where it's kind of a hybrid of an ACR and an AR, or the Scar, but like a legit ACR. I would say I'm excited for an ACR, or to see more places build like ARs chambered in some type of 45-70 round. Yes, Ragnar, I am from America. Yeah, Jeremy, I have a couple of subscribers that are here and mods that have the Jackal and 300 Blackout. One of them loves it. One of them is having some break-in time with it. Kevin, it's arrow precision, the lower and the upper arrow precision. So, also for everybody that's new to the channel, if you guys are interested in potentially winning some swag, including some gun parts and some stuff for modifying your guns to make them safer, please consider donating to the channel. I actually have 2 people. We've done giveaways, and they got some really cool swag, some t-shirt stuff, some patches, some Rip-Its, some Fiddle Faddle, one of my maps. So I take care of my subscribers. Plus, you guys get to help pick the guns that I buy when you guys donate. So, like right now, the chat, the previous giveaway we did, and the previous goal we did, we hit $500, and the chat voted on the revolver that I'm gonna buy soon, and so I'm getting a Colt Python with a 6-inch barrel in 357. So we're working on funding that. We got to $500, so I let the chat pick it. And then they also want me to get a cowboy gun, like a lever action rifle, and they chose 45-70. So I'm letting the does being in Ogden give me an advantage? Potentially. So the way that I always do it is we always do it in $500 increments, and so whoever is the person that donates that crosses that $500 threshold, that's who I pick. So that way it's never like, oh, well, this person donated 100 times at $1, so they have 100 chances. It's just, look, you could be the person that donates 1 time, you could be the person that donates 100 times. If we cross that $500 and you're the person that does it, you should always have a gun and no gun safety. Well, Ragnar, I think he said he's not from the U.S., so it might be not an option there. A 7-barrel rifle? I mean, we don't really need 7-barrel rifles anymore, but I guess if you needed 7 different calibers or 7 barrels, like Lots of guns have multiple barrels. It's just a matter of how they're used. I like 5.7. Aaron, I have not. I've never done any competition matches. I'm an enthusiast. I've been shooting since I was like 6 years old. I've been shooting for more than like 35 years. I have a lot of experience with shooting. I know a little bit about builds. More than anything, I'm just a constitutionalist. And so I'm a big absolutist to the Second Amendment. That's cool, Logan. Stephanie, I currently have 8 behind me. That's how I always respond. So, Logan, I carry a Glock 19 clone, so I guess the Glock 19. No, I don't know. I'll check it out, Aaron. I don't know. Ragnar, it can be. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. So, what's up, Hunter? I will check it out, California teen. So this, guys, that's a pump action, but that's, you'll see when I get my shotgun. If not this week, then next week, you'll see. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. Oh, man. Everybody, please go consider listening to California Teen. He wrote something for me recently that I'm going to try to make as part of the intro or use in the intro for my long form content. So thank you for that, California Teen. I look forward to using it, and go check out his stuff on Spotify. Ali Jamshed. I carried a Taurus for a long time, so I'm pretty partial to Taurus, man. I have an AK-47, and that's a Glock 17 clone, and I have a shotgun here and a shotgun upstairs. Did you retake your test, Hunter? I think 24 inches, Stephen Fowry. 24 inches. If you're going to be in the bush, you're not going to want... 308 is plenty accurate, even out of 20 inches. I don't think you'll need... For 308, 100 meters to 300 meters, like 20 to 24 inches should be just fine. Get the Glock. Oh, get a G3C because it costs less. Oh my gosh, George Orr. Not a P320, no. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up to the chat now, guys. You got rid of a 1911. Was it like a knockoff 1911? That's cool, Army. What is the best self-defense? The best self-defense is to not be somewhere where you need to use self-defense. School adventures. Earth Modesto. So you can legally own a 32 millimeter launcher. It's not against the law to own a 32 millimeter or 35 millimeter or something like that. Hunter, you told me that there was one portion that you didn't do as well on, so you were retesting. Hey, Declan, what's going on? School Adventures, I don't mind High Point. If that's all you can afford, then that's perfect. Yeah, that guy right there. I like your answer. I mean, it sounds like it's... Okay, so no offense to guys at gun stores. I think most gun stores are probably decent, but I also think gun stores, when they have a lot of stock and they're trying to move product, like it's the same as a cell phone store or a car store. Like a lot of times there's rebates and there's benefits to getting guns out, and it helps the store make more money. So, what's going on, Jahina? Keep going, Hunter. Dark Brairs. How do you feel about Canic? Canic. So here's my take on Canic. I think the Canics are pretty, but I think they're kind of like a cross between a Walther and a Taurus. So that being said, I don't have anything against Canic. Just if I can afford a Canic, I'd probably try and just buy a Walther, because I don't think they're that much more. And I don't know that I would go so far as to pay for a Canic if I can afford a Taurus. Gavin, my family does a family reunion up in Idaho every year, and we do trap shooting. Thank you, Ali. Oh, Army, no problem. Appreciate it, bud. Hey, and if you guys haven't yet, if you would be so kind as to hit the like button and maybe consider donating towards the revolver and the lever action fund. Earth, that is an excellent question that I don't have the answer to. Safet, I pretty much only hunt birds. Stephanie, are you asking if I ever bought guns at Smith & Edwards? I haven't bought one at the one up in North Ogden, no. Over by, like, when you take the exit to go to, like, Willard, I haven't bought anything at the Smith & Edwards. Logan, if you want to, I've made this known. I'm pretty anti-SIG right now because of their stance on things. Do I think they build terrible guns? No, I think they've built one or two questionable guns. But, Jeremy, yes. Yeah, Army, I hunt like squab and dove, yeah, and pigeons up in Idaho. So, I hesitate to say get a SIG because I think they're a little expensive, and I don't like SIG's stance on firearms right now. Yeah, I think Stephanie, they probably have a great selection. There's also an Impact Guns in Ogden. Impact is a really well-known online gun store. They've got a really good selection. There's also High-End Mike's. There's a couple of High-End Mike's pawn shops in Ogden that are great. You might be able to get a little bit better deal. It'll be used, but you might be able to get a better deal. Yeah, if you're going to buy a SIG, buy an older SIG. I like Glocks, Logan. I like Glocks. So if you can find a good Glock with a good price and you can get the MOS so it's cut for an optic, I say do that. The reason I don't usually buy OEM Glock is because I can buy something like a PSA and get the MOS cut and still spend less. I'm going to replace the trigger and I'm going to replace the barrel anyways. And I would do that in a regular OEM Glock. So I just say, why start with the higher price? Hey guys, I need to go. I'm going to go check on my kids upstairs. I'm going to go see what they're doing. please feel free to use the chat, talk amongst each other. It looks like we've got some really knowledgeable people in here and some really inquisitive people. Thanks, Dennis. I grow a sick mustache, be a little fat, and have 35 years of firearm knowledge. So I'm gonna go check on my kids real quick. I'll be back down and we'll keep talking. Okay. I am back. I am back, friends. Alrighty. So. Yeah. So I do sometimes shoot subsonic. I actually think subsonic is great for home defense, whether you have a suppressor or not. Yeah, that's what I would love, John. I would love for full auto to be legal. Do you know what doing full auto people I did see that guy. Do you know what legalizing, what getting rid of full auto from the NFA and eliminating the Brady Act? I don't think people recognize what that would do. Safed, I prefer 9mm. What that would do for like the gun industry in general. Like it would save the government money because manufacturers would no longer be able to sell guns. Like right now, a fully transferable M240 I saw the other day, like on Gun Broker or something like that, or Rock Island Auctions. It was like $177,000. If full auto was taken off of Brady and removed from NFA, it would force manufacturers to be like pre-1986 in their pricing scheme, where they could be a little bit more, but they couldn't really be that much more because technically anybody could, like you'd be able to put an auto sear on a Glock and it wouldn't be a felony. It wouldn't be against the law. So, I don't know, man. There's some, if you go look, there's some places that are selling like full auto guns for way more than 10 to 15,000. So making full autos legal and removing them from the NFA would drastically change the way that the firearms industry sells guns, how much they cost. Almost all firearms would come down in price, and the government would pay less for firearms to fund for our infantry and our army and things like that. Those would cost less, and because it would open up that door to multiple manufacturers being able to make full auto firearms, it would really change the way that firearms contracts and things are done in the U.S. and around the world. It would be huge. It would be absolutely huge, and it would be great. Yeah. Yeah, it's not that it's tough to find, it's that it's tough to pay for. Because it's not cheap. I think even, like really, it should be easy to find like a full auto AK. Because really, it just takes a trip out to probably the Middle East. The Middle East or Africa. And you should be able to find a full auto AK. And you could probably get one for really, really cheap. It's getting it back into the country that would be harder legally. And then registering it and doing all that. And having it be in like moderately decent condition. So finding full auto guns is easy. It's paying for full auto guns and keeping them in good working order that's hard. Yes, I did see that one, Chief. Well, that's just it. I think if we had full auto, I'm pretty sure ammo would come down in price too. I think it would have to. Dark Prayers. I think that you would be solid with either 10mm or 45. Yeah. Pulcra Lucia. Yeah, I'm aware. I have a bunch of UK subscribers that hate it. Well, grassroots, Canadian grassroots, you guys can barely own like handguns. That's really cool, Army. I think old like, I think it's cool to have like those heritage pass me down cool guns. Hegegev? Can a 12? My kids have shot my AK-47. .38 Super's kind of cool in a 1911. I've also seen, I think a couple places make like 357 Magnum in a 1911 style. No, they should not. Pokralusha. Remember, you're from the UK, so you have a different perspective on firearms than countries that do have firearms, and that it's legal. Somewhat automatic. Yeah, I found the same thing, Dark Prayers. I don't own any, but my father-in-law owned a Kimber, and he liked how it looked, but he inevitably went to a Colt. She's from the UK. I get it. She doesn't understand. She doesn't understand, like, the meaning. Ejejev, old enough to shoot guns. I think somebody has a 357 semi-auto. Let me double check. I thought Demo had one. Yeah, Magnum Research has a 357 Magnum. I thought somebody else did too. Yeah. Kunin Classic. Yeah, check that out, guys. %, Stephanie. 100%. Dark Prayers. I think it depends on what you want to do with it. A .444 revolver would be stronger than a 9mm. I'm not saying they aren't junk, John. They may very well be, but they are chambered in 357 Magnum. Yeah, I agree with that, Chief. Hey, what's going on, James Beck? So, oh man. Grilled cheese mouth, what's going on? Thank you, Tanops. I'm just noticing when we stopped talking about Iran and Israel, the chat dropped from like the 90 that it was at. We're now at 35. I don't know why I didn't notice that we were only at 35, but I'm realizing we're now only at about 35. I guess that makes sense. People now don't have a platform to tell me that I'm brainwashed or that I believe in genocide or whatever. So, yeah. Just imagine if you had two, Army. that guy, like, I do for selfish reasons. Like, I would love for the Short Act and the Hearing Protection Act to go into effect so that all those things come off the NFA. But I also know that it's a lot of money. They're spending a lot of money, and I hope that the more conservative folks, I hope they go back and start kind of chewing up some of the garbage in that. Best place I was ever stationed. Oh, I don't know. Like when you get stationed somewhere, or when you're part of a unit, like, you find things that you do and don't, like, you find positives and negatives about all the places. Like, I didn't like everything about the unit I was in when I was in Arizona, but I liked being close to the border. I liked being close to California. It's like, admittedly, when I lived in Arizona, my family and I, we went to SeaWorld and Disneyland, like, every year. It was a lot of money, but it was, we didn't have to worry about cost. I had family that lived in Anaheim, so we could go stay with my family. And so, yes, it cost money to get tickets, but it was still, like, a neat experience. But I live further away now, and now it's not only the cost of tickets, but it's the cost of travel, it's the cost of food, it's all of that, especially now that my kids are older. When I lived in Alaska, like, I grew up in Alaska, so... Oh, I agree, that guy. I agree. Easton, so far, no, not that I am aware of, are we going to war with Iran. Israel's at war with Iran, but... Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, if you didn't know, if you didn't notice, my video, my new video, how to upgrade your PSA daggers and Glock variants to a safer trigger, because you're putting a safer trigger in there. Instead of a squishy one, you're putting a responsive, crisp trigger. I post my video has now gone live. So go check out that video. It's a long video, but it's a good video.